Pharisees were a major Jewish social and religious movement known for their strict observance of religious law and oral traditions. They believed in the resurrection of the dead, life after death, angels, and other heavenly beings. And they believed in the authority of the written Torah, but also a large body of oral traditions that have been accumulated down through the years, hundreds of years. And they embraced all of that. And then there are the Sadducees. The Sadducees were a wealthy, aristocratic sect of Jews active in ancient Judea. They are best known for strictly interpreting the written Torah, rejecting the oral traditions of the Pharisees, and denying the resurrection of the dead, the afterlife, and the existence of angels. That was their major point. No resurrection. Nothing after we're dead. No angels, no heavenly beings. And then there are the Herodians that we're going to meet in these conflicts. Who are they? The Herodians were a political group of Jews who supported the rule and policies of King Herod Antipas. They were Herodians. They believed that they should have a close relationship and tie politically with King Herod, who, by the way, was the king that had John the Baptist beheaded. And their whole point was they needed political power, and they wanted to preserve a fragment of Jewish autonomy so they could get with it. Some of them say, you know, I've got stuff to do. I'm a farmer. I've got to take care of my farm. I'm a businessman. I've got to take care of my business. Some of them got angry. And the scripture in this story says they beat and killed those servants because they were bothering them about this invitation. Well, when the king found that out, he got angry. He sent his troops out to find these chosen, invited guests, and it says he had them killed and everything about them destroyed. Now, interestingly enough, in about 70 AD, which is about, 40 years. And as the king walked amongst the guests, he came upon a man who wasn't wearing the robe he was supposed to wear. And he said, why are you not properly dressed? Now, the answer was, this person obviously said, I'm just fine the way I am. Take me or leave me. I don't need your robe. Take me or leave me the way I am. And the king said, take him and cast him out into the darkness where there's weeping and gnashing. Or resurrection. Which one of those is married to her? Because they've all been with her. And I love what Jesus says. He says, you are wrong because you know neither of the scriptures. The Sadducees, the experts. You know neither the scriptures nor, even more importantly, the power of God. For in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. And as for the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what was said to you by God? And then he quotes a passage of scripture out of Exodus chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, when God appears to Moses in the burning bush. And God says to Moses, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob, am I not? He is not the God of the dead, but of the living. So what God is saying to Moses is, he really knows how to examine and cross-examine Jesus. And he says to him, Teacher, what is the great and greatest commandment of the law? Now, of course, there's 10 commandments, but there's all of this Mosaic law. I mean, scores of things that they believe is a part of the Mosaic law. And how does Jesus answer that question?